joy itself is conditional because you can be saved and not have joy. And then in certain ways, in certain days, you have joy. Now we got to begin to have a coping method and and shifting in the avenues where God can get the glory from what we are doing and feel and know and be good about it without feeling like we did lost touch. We don't know where we are. You cannot be saved and not know where you are. Prophetically, God is shifting and he wants you to know exactly where you are. I said on Periscope, I said, look here. You have to be so sensitive to what God is having you at. Some people say, well, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Who says that's true? You are where you're supposed to be right now. You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. The fact of the matter is, what instructions are you listening to and what you're not listening to? Because God already have the method and he has the instructions on what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it in your pit. The fact of the matter is, what are you doing there? And how are you appropriate, how are you moving in it? What are you doing in reference to it? A lot of times we don't pray. We do not pray at all. Come on. When it comes down to it, some of us just sit there and do like this. Most of the time we're in the room and we're just silent. Because we get to a point we don't even know what to pray for now. We felt like we didn't pray our best prayer 2 days ago. And after you pray your best prayer, you like, man, I can't pray no better than what I did. So it's almost like sometimes you get sick of yourself praying over the same prayer. You get upset for praying the same prayer. So only thing you do is sit there and wonder. And what happens is as you wonder, you miss an identity. You feel like you lost your identity. You feel like you lost your purpose because of the fact that certain things is redundant. So now you're trying to fill out certain things. But one thing about joy, as you cultivate it, no matter what condition you're in, hope always ministers to you. Hope itself always cultivates vision. What happens is vision stays there. But if joy is not there to cultivate vision, then what happens is we will lose sight on the personality and the agenda of the vision. And what happens is we miss out on what God is trying to do in us at that appointed time. That's why you have to cultivate, you have to stir up the pot of joy when you are in your condition. In other words, the water got to be boiling while you got other things going on in the kitchen. You got to boil the joy up while you cultivate. Come on now, because if you don't cultivate what God is trying to do at the appointed time, we will miss out on what God has, and we will look at our vision stale. We will miss out on what God is trying to say, and we will be in. It's almost like we are clueless when it comes down to prophetic. And we are all prophetic in our own right because God gave us emotion and he's given us an unction. He's given us awareness and he has dealt with us in a fashion to where he is literally increased himself in us. The fact of the matter is we actually resist, I would say, what God is saying. Our resisting is based off of our resentment. And our resentment is based off of our experience. And so we will miss God and we would come into the shell based off of how we are coping with what it is that we're dealing with. And we don't even know how to cultivate joy when we're resentful. And we don't know how to cultivate joy when we are so used to things not going well. But whatever condition you are in, whenever joy is in the midst, it don't matter what state you're in. When you have joy resting in you, it doesn't really matter what state you're in because you know you're coming out. You know, no matter what situation, I'm talking about real joy. I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about, old-fashioned, you getting on, tamarines, jumping, I'm not talking about none of that. Washboards, I ain't talking about none of that. I'm talking about when God himself really meets you. I'm talking about when you are really going through something and you're thinking it is an emotional, almost a dysfunctional thing going on emotionally, like it's something wrong with you, but it's nothing wrong with you. That is a sign from God that he's trying to speak to you to let you know that he is trying to get you in a place that you are afraid of or timid based off of a perception of what you think your vision is. Our perception of vision is so messed up because of our lack of expression of what joy is supposed to cultivate concerning it. If we can just sit back and understand what God is really trying to do, he's already spoken about what we need to do. Sometimes they'll beat us up because we will see the result and we get mad and say, man, I missed it. But joy puts you back in place to where if I can live for tomorrow, amen, I know that I can be able to get myself not only back into the position, but God has something better prepared for me because now I understand what I need to do. So joy is a condition, meaning that the joy of the Lord comes to us through channels that he has established. So Apostle Paul said that we are helpers of your joy. So God will send people. He'll send people to help you cultivate. He'll put conditions in place and events in place so that you can be able to cultivate the vision within you. To cultivate the vision, meaning the joy. One thing about joy, joy comes and it expresses itself in so many different fashions to where you'll start seeing the possibilities. You'll start seeing what you could do and what God is going to do. There are signs and wonders coming from out of your hands. There is miracles coming from out of your voice. There is expressions to where whatever present you go into, your presence, because you bring Kingdom University there, amen, God can do whatever he want to do through you and in you. The fact of the matter is the reason that God uses people powerfully because of their faith and because they always kept their joy. Can you imagine Joseph, had he not had joy? Had he not really cultivated at his darkest hours? What he would have been feeling at that time, he will never have gotten to where he's supposed to be. It was pretty prevalent and evident that Joseph was at a place to where he had to keep building himself up. Because every time something came up against him, because if you notice in the scriptures, he always had a problem. Oh man, he had a problem from the time he opened up his voice to his dream, to his brothers attacking him, to people, to him being pulled up in the pit. And even in the pit, he got out the pit when they sold him until he got to a point of prison to where he was getting hate mail even from the butler and even from, come on now, he was getting so many things for even being falsely accused by even Potiphar's wife. He was going through so many changes even with their experience. Can you imagine? He should have dropped the ball right there and said, I am tired of this. Woe is me. But he just kept on with his vision because of what God has placed in him. And one thing I want to tell you, whatever God is saying about you, whatever the Lord has spoken over you concerning you and concerning your babies and concerning your vision and concerning your businesses and concerning your spouse and concerning where you are going at in ministry, if he said it, you better believe that it is your responsibility to make sure that you cultivate it with joy. I'm talking about the joy of the Lord. I'm not talking about something to where we fathom and we cultivate it based off of what it is that we do with our carnality. Our carnality sometimes is out of touch. And we try to build Ishmaels of our joy based off of our carnal state.